big numbers. Big numbers. 100 minute bag, that's a big number. Big numbers. Big numbers. Whole team counted, that's a big number.
Hey, foreign cars, foreign seats with the foreign leather. Foreign number, put the card in the ATM in the sad era. Yeah, flex mode, this ain't Southwest, this is jet. I ain't gotta shut the cell off, cause the iPhone don't got a jet mode. Bad be pesto. If you wanna come, let's go. We ain't going nowhere.
Now we're cooking. I'm Jonathan Coachman. This is the NFL on EA.
We are at the oldest continually operating stadium in the NFL as you get a look inside Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Tonight, we wrap up Week 11 with a good Monday nighter between the Minnesota Vikings and the Green Bay Packers. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. So here comes the Packers offense now onto the field. They'll be led out by the former Cal Bear, Aaron Rodgers.
Would you say that last week's performance by him, workmanlike in terms of numbers?
One touchdown, one pick, but obviously a loss.
Yeah, that's the bottom line for him. All he cares about is how do we find a way to win the game. Maybe leans on a few other parts of the offense, and hopefully springs a receiver or two free.
It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd and 12. That's now 4 tackles for loss if you add the 3 he had last week to the 1 here in the first quarter.
And some of it comes from vision. And when you're playing defensive end, especially with those teams that want to take their D-ends and move them out a little bit wider so they can see into the offensive backfield, they can see things develop, able to make plays, then they use their athletic ability to take over and spill them.
So trouble already here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 9. Shotgun now for Rodgers. And Adams has it complete. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Give them a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll run with a backup. This is Williams. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
Now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Following the penalty, it's Williams. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 13 yards, 1st down, Packers. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across it.
And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Davante Adams with touchdown number 12 on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Now, this is a crew that come out flat their last 2 games, both losses, but just judging by the energy level, they look different here early, and that touchdown shows how.
Yeah, it seems to me that touchdown gets them off the treadmill. Because, you know, you've been on the treadmill. I've seen you work out. You go forever and ever, and it tells you've gone somewhere, but you're really out here in the same spot. They've exchanged it for an escalator. Still got some hills to climb, but they can get there.
These are good analogies. I run outside sometimes, though. You know, get some fresh air, a little sun on your face.
A little wind in there.
Yeah, that's right. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Off the play fake. Here's Jackson. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. This is caught. A big play there for Minnesota. 63 yards. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
To throw is Jackson. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. Down this close to the goal line, 1st down. Surprised that wasn't a run?
I am, and you know I'm old school. I want to run the ball on 1st down in this situation, because 2nd down, that gives me an option of running play action and maybe throwing it.
On 2nd and goal, Jackson.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
They'll start out on the ground with Jones. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down. Well, he can be a load to handle off the edge, and he can do it against the pass. Sure, he can do it against the run like he did there.
And you mentioned a load. How about having to adjust to his speed as well? Because not only does he bring some pop, he brings some dash as well.
Now look out, Rodgers lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or moved away.
Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. That one goes for 36 yards.
That was an excellent read right there. Saw cover 1. That means it's just a single high safety. So you know if you throw the ball to the outside part of the field, help is going to be a little bit late getting there. And he puts one out there for a big-time completion.
Tackle made that time by Anthony Barr.
Here comes the ball. I see you, boy. I see you.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll run now with Gaskin. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a 1st down.
Defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard, inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. After the penalty, it's Jones. And that play will go nowhere, losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
Anthony Barr got a real education at UCLA in playing not just his normal position of stand-up outside linebacker, but down deep in.
And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game watching this offensive line because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right.
And he's going to go down again. Akeem Hicks able to record his 5th sack of the season. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
You know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's two different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position, where are we going to be and what do we need to get? And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs? If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
Now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Call that one an even 60 yards, 6-0. And it'll be Packer football here. First down and 10. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know. We know where we are right now, but the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak, got the whole month of December still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus. One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
The Packers on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. They'll try and run for it. Here's Williams. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. It's a first down following a gain of 3.
I think I saw a lot of shoulders just drop there. And what I mean by that is they finally were able to relax a little bit because that was an important play call. They needed to pick up that first down at this stage of the game.
Yeah, couldn't afford another quick drive and out.
Over here. Bang, bang.
They stick to the ground game on first down. It's Williams. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards.
So much of the game today, we're looking for hybrid players, guys who can do a combination of jobs. And anyone who plays a strong safety position, now more than ever, is a hybrid-type player. Half defensive back that covers passes and half linebacker that makes tackles. We just saw the linebacker make that play.
And now here's a deep shot that's complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 36 yards on the play.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great. And what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Now a first down carry. It's Williams. It's Xavier Rhodes there in on the stop.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Rodgers going to throw. He'll get this one to the Golden Domer, St. Brown. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Equanimous St. Brown, his first touchdown on the year. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. And this is no good. Missed the PAT, so they fail to connect. And this remains a 13-0 game. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. And now out comes comes Minnesota. And it's been a rocky start for them thus far. They had the turnover and then the punt on those first two drives.
So there is optimism because they've improved, right? The turnover, you just noted it.
Punt's better than the turnover.
The punt is better on the second one. Now they're hoping to turn into first downs and hopefully points.
They start the drive with Cook. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Open man is Thielen. It's complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A gain of 22.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Jackson, Philip Dorsett hauls it in. A gain of 6 there on first.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
On second down, Cook, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, because they bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Here's Jackson to throw. And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. Preston Smith able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield, get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. Another try after the first down sack. Jackson. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain. For an offense that has not found the end zone yet, that's a big play.
There's the spark right there. The big play that they needed. Now they've got to go ahead and finish this drive and put this ball in the end zone.
They'll run for it with Cook. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. Dalvin Cook. His 6th touchdown of the season as they are now on the board here in the first half. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. He's been effective so far, over the 40-yard mark here in the second quarter. Don't forget about those guys up front, though. They've been effective, too.
The leverage game has been in their favor. They've been the ones who've been able to bend their knees, drop their hips, and get a little bit lower than the guys on the other side of the football, and they've moved them out of the way for the runner.
Sometimes that's tough for those big fellas.
Not an easy thing for them to do. And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. Shotgun now for Rodgers. And that will be incomplete.
And I feel like my man, Old Mo, momentum might be changing jerseys right now. How about what they just got done? They scored a touchdown their last drive. Now here's a 3 and out. Maybe momentum's getting ready to creep to the other sideline.
And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face.
Defenders giving chase, but I don't think they're going to get there. And he takes it down deep into Green Bay territory. A big play there on the catch and run. 65 yards. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. So from their own 20 all the way to the red zone now. A chance to capitalize on 1st and 10. He gets this one into the hands of Dalvin Cook. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Now it's Jackson. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. He was looking for Daniels that time, and it's 3rd and short. You got a young quarterback, maybe that's just an example of a growing pain for him.
I think you're right about that, because when the game starts to move fast and it moves quickly on him, a lot of times they fall back on what they know best, their arm. He's slinging it on this one. Had a wide open target, but didn't have the proper footwork to increase his accuracy.
Losing 4 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Chase McLaughlin now for the field goal try. And his kick is right there. It's good. And that will cut the lead back down to 3 at 13-10. So a good kick there, and they put the bow tie on it with 3 points.
And let's face it, everybody wants a touchdown. We know that. But in the NFL, defenses are awfully good. You're not going to score each and every time. Be able to knock the ball through the post and take the 3.
By the way, I said bow tie. I meant just bow. Not the tie, but yeah.
Either way.
You got it.
I just went right past it.
This will be fielded at the 8. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's been good. His guys are winning. So far, the recipe working here in the second quarter.
He doesn't like to just tote the rock. He wants to carry his team on his back, and that's what he's done throughout this game.
Yeah, he's done that. He'll be hoping to continue that trend. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Throwing is Rodgers. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Danielle Hunter, he continues to wreak havoc in the offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year. To throw is Rodgers. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. Here's J.K. Scott now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Fielded just inside the 20. So we've hit halftime. We now proceed to the start of the second half. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors. But overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. On 2nd and 7, Jackson. Looking left sideline, incomplete. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver. And it'll bring up 3rd down.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. It appears they're going to come up empty on this first drive of the second half, still down by that slim margin.
Yeah, and that's okay. You know, when you sit and analyze it, they're not happy about what happened, having to go to the bench. But this gives them a chance to let their defense do some work while they on the sidelines go over what they're doing offensively and formulate a proper plan.
Let's go.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done. Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try.
He's got daylight, the 30. And he is down deep into Minnesota territory. A big play there. Rodgers to Adams, 55 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. And here he'll get it down to the 7. Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. So that run gets him about halfway home.
Yes, now 2nd and goal. The end zone beckons. It looms. They can do whatever they want. Full playbook. Run it again, or they can go play action and try and put it in that way.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. There to knock that one away defensively, Eric Kendricks.
You got to be precise with your throws, especially in this situation. You're inside the 10-yard line going into the end zone. But sometimes the emotion, the excitement, sometimes the decisions just aren't made very well because of that.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. Coverage there by the safety, Harrison Smith. Trying to get their tight end involved finally. That's the first time that they've looked his way. He's kind of been a forgotten man in this offensive scheme.
Yeah, didn't look his way at all in the first half, and I'll bet you the offense coordinator made a note at the half and said, let's get him involved because he could be a big-time playmaker for us.
That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
3-3. Take 4. Strong right.
Throwing on 1st down, it's Jackson. That'll be complete to Cook. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
On 3rd down, Jackson. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. 12 yards there, 1st down Vikings.
Well, we're used to seeing the guy that you consider the #1 receiver double covered, but how about this guy? He's double covered and finds a way to make the play for a first down.
That's how you increase your Madden rating, right?
No doubt about that at all. And you know something? I think we'll hear about that from him soon.
This quarterback now 11 of 17 passing thus far. He's got his guys a 1st and 10. Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. Blake Martinez, the linebacker, was there in coverage to disrupt.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. Here's Jamie Gillen now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. And he'll send this one into the cold Lambeau night. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Packer drive will start from deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10. Number 12 back out there. Aaron and his Packer teammates set to begin their drive. How do you think he personally is evaluating his game so far? He was pretty good in the first half, been good so far here in the 3rd quarter. He's got to like it, right?
Not looking for the dramatics here. Not trying to set the world on fire in terms of stats. It's almost like you're driving. Hands at 10 and 2, alert for anything out there, watching for trouble on the road, and making sure you get the team home.
The bus driver. See if he can drive the bus here again on this drive. Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. There to knock that one away defensively, Eric Kendricks.
Well, partner, so much for the mismatch. How about the guy at the 2nd level, that big linebacker, able to run with the receiver and make a play on the football?
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. And that is incomplete.
NFL quarterbacks work so hard on their mechanics, and they do so much repetition in practice, off-season, the whole deal. They expect it to be autopilot once the games start. That way it eliminates any type of pressure of the game, pressure of people in your face, all of that. That didn't shine through on that throw, though, did it?
No. A little bit of a dangerous pass and off target, too. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Vanderbilt's own Oren Burks had the tackle defensively.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
12 yards there, 1st down Vikings. This quarterback now perfect since the 2nd half started, 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Here's a quick throw out wide to Dorsett. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the 1st down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Throwing now, Jackson on 1st down. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Give to Cook out of the gun. And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? That definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
Now Aaron Rodgers in the offense heading back onto the field. He's played well. Good first half. He's continued that here in the 3rd quarter. But my question, when you're a head coach, what do you look at stat line-wise for your pro? Do you go right to turnovers?
You really do. As much as coaches don't want to talk about that, that's where it starts. When I played in college, our first rule for every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. And that's kind of how they judge you. Do you take care of the ball, not turn it over, keep it in the proper hands, and give your team a chance to win?
Well, that's what he's done here in this one so far. They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. Back now at Lambeau. It's Packer football here as they've got the lead as well to begin the 4th quarter. The Packers on 3rd down. Not quite 50%, 4 for 9. This is 3rd and 7. Shotgun now for Rodgers. And tight coverage there. It's knocked away, incomplete. The former Pro Bowl linebacker Anthony Barr there to jar it free. Critical play in this football game because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
And now out comes Minnesota. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting. I know we can't do a mind meld and really know exactly what he was thinking, but I didn't see an open receiver there. Maybe, possibly, he did that on purpose and just overthrew him.
Yeah, coverage was good, so maybe indeed that was another way to throw it away, if you will. To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Jackson. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle 3rd. He couldn't catch it. Now 3rd down.
In the early days of the NFL, you could easily blame these drops on maybe some uneven or uncertain lighting in a stadium. Not anymore. The lights are pretty good.
Yeah, they're great here at night, but his 2nd drop, indeed, not a good look. And this is Cook with a grab. And a pretty nice tackle there, ranging up from his free safety spot as he'll stop him about a yard short.
A short gain that doesn't get them the first down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. 1 score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. They'll try and throw for it with Jackson. And he finds Daniels. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 17 yards, 1st down, Vikings. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this 2nd half. Here's 1st and 10. To throw again is Jackson. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. The first defensive back taken in this year's draft, Darnell Savage there to knock that one away. And once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. To throw again, Jackson. And that's complete. It's the tight end Daniels. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
That's what I'm talking about. Nice hit, boy.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've converted a 1/3 of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This is 3rd and 9. Jackson now. And Daniels has it over the middle. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But
he's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. A 9-yard touchdown grab, as his guys are an extra point away now from taking the lead here in the 4th. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown. And he'll be stopped just shy of the 25 with a penalty marker down. Here's the call.
Face mask. Defense.
Well, when you're leading in the 4th quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
And now it's 1st and 10, a big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Now Rodgers. Got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. The Packers on 3rd down. They're right at about the league average, 40%, 4 for 10. Here it's 3rd and 3. Rodgers going to throw. Looking. It's caught inside the 25. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A gain of 37.
That could very well be a defining play in this game. A touchdown, that gives them the lead, and they took a major step towards getting there with that big play right there.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. They'll run on 1st down. Williams. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. That's going to go as a loss of a full 8 yards. It sets him back for 2nd down.
18, 26.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Rodgers. Now that'll be caught by St. Brown. 23 yards on the play.
Let's go.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
And the question now, how do they want to work the clock here on 1st and goal? A field goal would give them the late lead. They'll run it with Williams. Nothing doing there. They're going to wind up holding him at the 2. No gain there, and it's going to set up 2nd and goal. One back in the game. That's Jones. 2nd and goal. He'll get it up the middle. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Throwing now is Rodgers. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
And his kick is no good. Oh, by the slimmest of margins, he missed it wide to the left. And that one, my goodness, that was almost too easy.
Yeah, and you're not going to have too many attempts shorter than that one. I don't think anyone got a finger on it. That's about as bad a miss as you can have.
Cook following the penalty. And he swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. Kenny Clark, the big D tackle there to make the stop. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Fourth quarter, 2 minutes on the clock in a tight 1-point game. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left. The Packers bringing in an extra member of the secondary here to try for the 3rd down stop. Throwing now is Jackson. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's Jamie Gillen now. He's been terrific so far. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And he'll go ahead and field this at the 5. A big hitter that time in the punt game. 66 yards on the boot. And the offense will come back out deep in their own territory. So now Rodgers in the pack. Down 17-16. A minute 35 to go. And they're in danger of a 3rd straight loss as they come up on 1st and 10. Back to throw. He'll get this one to the Golden Domer, St. Brown. And brought down, but not before reaching the 25. 14 yards, good for a Packer 1st down. Well, that's a good first step, but several steps still to go.
They still have time for the possible game-winning field goal. Time for them to be quick and hurry at the same time.
Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and in the 2nd quarter, he may very well have run by him, but in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
The 2nd down attempt there knocked down as it leaves the quarterback's hand, and it's incomplete. Again, he was looking for Devontae Adams, and that'll make it 3rd down. This pass rush, they've been excellent all game long, and another example of it right there in the closing moment.
Not only with the pass rush, but how well they're coached, because if you don't...
And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Mackenzie Alexander with a pick. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. And so much for the game-winning 2-minute drive. I think that interception return there pretty much seals the deal.
And one thing to keep in mind, in this situation with the score that close, defense isn't backing off and just giving you easy throws. They're playing aggressively as well, and they end up picking that one off and sealing the deal for themselves.
Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good. And that will ensure that it will take a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to tie it. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. They're down here in a 1-score game. But the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late-game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
Well, they have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. They'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down. That would have been a tough catch, but in this 2-minute drill, those are the ones you really hope your guys come up with.
Yeah, you don't want your guy to be able to take the out because it was a tough catch. You needed him to come up with that one, because if he does...
And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Now the Packers going to burn their third and final timeout, as it'll come with 36 seconds to go in half number 2. Rodgers now, after the sack, he'll lead the Pack up on 3rd and long. He's back to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete. 2 huge plays there down the stretch. The sack on 2nd down. Now they force the incompletion. That's going to lead to a do-or-die 4th down.
And they look like they've got the confidence right now that no matter what gets thrown against them, but whatever play gets run, they have the ability to shut it down. They're just brimming with it right now.
Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Vikings, they have the football now, an excellent field